Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Love Our Life. Today we are doing some more Epic Universe construction updates. We have a bunch of them, so let's get into it. So come on and join me. So as I was saying, we have a ton of construction updates to talk about today. I mean, there are a bunch of them. So much so, I have 2 full bottles of water over here ready to go because we've got a lot to talk about. But before we get talking about all this stuff, make sure you are subscribed to the channel because this is where you can get all your updates for construction on Epic Universe. We try to put these out as fast as possible. Also, if you like the content that you're seeing, please consider donating to our Patreon page. That would greatly help us out. And you get benefits as well. We're about to start some new tiers and different things, so make sure you hop over there and do that. So, with that out of the way, let's get into the Epic Universe updates right now. Thank you once again to BioReconstruct for all of the updates, all the pictures you provide, and today he has provided so many that I haven't seen all of them. So let's get into it right now. Let's start off with this. The most basic ones. This is probably the easiest ones that we have as of like right now today. So this is, you are welcome to save these photos that he provided for your backgrounds or whatever. This is just an aerial overview. Now you might be able to see some things that have already caught your eye and caught your attention of what is going on here. So I'm going to be just focusing on these and going throughout everything. So we're going to cover everything today. So make sure you go over to BioReconstruct's official X page. That way you can get these cool wallpapers that he has saved for you guys or presented for you guys. They are in UHD and 4K, so make sure you do that. And there's HD versions as well. So let's get going. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about here is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Now, we do know that we're getting more and more updates with this, but here is something very interesting. An aerial look at the work so far, the red tinted entrance to the theater show in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Epic Universe. The arrow over here is the exit from the theater through the facade at the arrow, portal to this world of the full-size Paris buildings is out of frame to the left, so you can't see those. But this is very interesting. We're starting to see this. We saw this in the concept art that Universal provided. And even though they haven't like officially talked about this land yet on their Epic Universe videos that they've been doing, we do know from the preview center that once you walk through there, you see this big tent area. So it's really cool to see this start to come to fruition here. Also, we're going to go a little bit higher here, just right outside of the Wizarding World. You can see this is like right above the portal here. An aerial overview of the portal. This is some recent work being done, a ribbon of concrete walls near the reverse side of the Meteor Astropub, which is to the left here of the photo. And then you can see the concrete work going on here at the bottom. But it does, like he said, it seems like all trees have been planted inside the portal. So we continue to see this develop and to move on. So it's just been really crazy how much has been updated. Here's another view of that, showing you guys this. The arrow here is where the roof is being added to an octagon structure. Down here to the left, you can see that being pointed right there. A similar octagon is at the exit of Dark Universe. So we may see that in today's photos. I'm not sure. But it's going to be really interesting to see that, what's next for that. Here's just kind of a wide view here of the portal. Now you can see like in the middle here of this photo. Let's talk about this real quick. Where the portal is. It does look like there's going to be a symbol that's going to go there. It has not been installed yet, so we will see very soon if that's going to be installed. But take a look at this. The arrow here points to that octagon structure we were just talking about, which is down to the left there. So it's really interesting. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out once they're finished with it, but it's all looking great so far. Aerial photo showing the Helios Grand Hotel is adjacent to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The much taller resort tower won't be seen from inside the full streets of Paris. If you look close at the top right, billboard and Epic Universe. So you can see the billboard there off in the distance just a little bit. We're going to talk about that here in just a few more minutes because it's pretty cool. We do have a up close photo of that, which looks great. But let's keep moving on. It might be in the next, yeah, it is in the next photo. What do you know? Okay, so I already looked this up, and this is butterbeer in French. Beer. I don't know, that was terrible. Even though, like, I have French descent, I guess, in my family, I cannot speak French. But that is butterbeer in French. And what the bottom is, I'm not sure. I'll look that up later, and I will post it in the pinned comment down below what it is. But that is a really cool sign. I love this. I love the aesthetic of it, the kind of old school look. It's almost like a Coca-Cola sign. You know what I mean? Like, but it's a butterbeer sign. So I love that. I love that whole look and aesthetic. I think it looks great. And check out this guy behind him. He's just chilling, or this lady. Just riding the little go-kart there. She's loving life because she gets to work on Epic Universe, right? Okay, here's another look here. An aerial peek inside where the street ends within the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Epic Universe. And the billboard is at the top right. You can see it down there. So as you come through here to the street, you'll be able to see it up at the top right of the... at the end of the street there. Pretty much. So it's looking great. I don't know, like here's an, this is, I'm glad that BioReconstruct does this because this is an actual look at the model inside the Epic Universe Preview Center. This is the same street here, so it looks like it might have some trees planted there. Not sure if that's going to be what happened. Now remember that that model is from a few years ago or a couple of years ago, so some things have changed versus what we've seen in like what we're going to get like in the final like preview videos that Universal has shared versus what's in the model. So some things are slightly different, so don't like get too dead set on the model because things may look different, you know, in the, like I said, the preview videos that they've shown. Here at the center of this is the area where the tall trees will be planted. We're at the street's end in the Wizarding World, so you can kind of see where they're going to be sitting right there. It's just cool to see it. You know, if you go there, you go back here, there's that. And you go back up here, here's that photo here. So it's very similar, very close to that. So I'm glad, you know, that's what we're getting with those because I just love how they're sticking to it. Like the concept art is what they're actually doing. And it just makes it amazing. You know, there's another attraction in town that kind of was supposed to look like that and ended up not looking like its final product. It is what it is. We have a video on that. Make sure you check that out. I'll link that down below. Aerial overview of the Wizarding World here, just showing you everything there. Now look, I know this is going to be sacrilege by saying this, but from above, this definitely looks like a hidden Mickey from above, okay? Y'all don't hate on me too much. It's the first thing I thought about when I saw it. The little tent area, but you know, it is what it is. So don't hate on me too much. I just had to point that out, and I'm sure that other people have seen it already, but we'll just ignore that because the mouse doesn't stay at this park. All right, another aerial overview here. This looks a little bit different. You can't see the mouse so much in this one. Most areas are in scaffolding again to complete the theming of the facades. Some of the completed facades are seen at the left of center over here. So where it's kind of painted over here to the left, yellow, blue, and kind of a burgundy or reddish building there, those are done. But everything else continues to, you know, progress as we go on. So we will see what happens there with that. Here's a close-up look of those streets that we were just talking about. Right there. You can see him right there. Looks great. And this, I believe, is supposed to be the exit. Yes, it is the exit from the attraction. So keep that in mind, that when you're leaving, that will be the exit from the attraction. So you go in through the other way and you come out here. So, I mean, it's looking good. All right. Here is another view here. This is just kind of showing you that the recently paved streets are covered in protective sheeting. The red tent in progress will be themed entrance. Of course, we talked about that. But they have these protective sheetings over top of the concrete and the paved streets, so it doesn't kind of mess it up when they get, weather worn or whatever. That'll happen as, we progress, right? So another look here at the tent area. You can see that they're still working on the one over here at the top there. They're putting that together. And, of course, you get the little griffin there in the building, which we've covered that so many times on this channel. But, you are seeing that there. So everything's looking good. I don't know how much. So we have a couple more of these photos here just from above. The tinted entrance to the theater show. And this isn't completed, obviously. There's still stuff that they have to do to it. But it'll look pretty amazing once they're done with it. Now, here's a look over here. This is the believed entrance that is the featured attraction for the Ministry of Magic. Is through the scaffolding facade at the right. The preview center concept model shows a tall statue area in the center, which you cannot see that yet, but it will come. It'll be there. And just another overview of everything over here, just going inside. You can see the street down there at the back of the photo, the tent at the bottom right, and then, of course, the entrance portal to the left at the very edge of the photo is where that's at. More theming being added here. This is across the street from the featured attraction. Another completed facade. Some more things written down here as well in French, which looks good. And then an overview of everything from this side as well. Now here's the thing. Number 1 is the cylinder frame in progress. They're still working on that. Number 2, frame raised to be the tower theming off of a distant turret of the town there. So we talked about that in the last video, I believe. And there was like a kind of a bell tower looking thing, if I remember right. That is what they're working on there now. So that still has to be done. So it's going to be like a forced perspective thing. We've talked about that before. And if you don't know what forced perspective is, just think about how there's so many movies that use it, but in Lord of the Rings, the hobbits, who are normal sized people like Elijah Wood or Sean Astin, and they had to sit back further or closer or sit back further from the camera to look smaller, and that's kind of how that'll look. It'll make it look like a forced perspective shot, that it's right there, but it's actually further back. At least that's what it looks like to me. Now, if it doesn't look that way to you, then please let me know. I mean, we're all in this together. We're all excited about this, so we cannot wait. The aerial photo here, this is the cylinder frame that will be raised as the tower is a themed distant turret. So they continue to do this. There's more work to be done on it, obviously. It's just not really... I guess it's close to being done. I don't know if it's not close to being done, but it is getting there. Also, the photo of the Paris skyline rising above the scaffolding there, you can kind of see it's just going to look good, man. It's going to be so good when it's done. And, a lot of this is still some of the same photos that we're going through here, that showing little changes here and there. So I think once we're done with this one right here, we'll talk about this one, but we'll move on from Wizarding World on, because there's so much more that's still covered in the scaffolding, and we can't really talk about that as much as we want to. So let's move on, because we have some things to talk about here. Now, we talked about in the last video that there was some parking stuff, and we're going to get to that. We're going to get to the parking stuff. We're going to talk about all that as well. But now it is time for us to go into Dark Universe. Okay, so we take a look at this one. Outside the portal of Dark Universe, the portal has scaffolding to complete the theming. Let me see. I don't know what he's talking about here. Oh, okay, a spherical element was recently added at the top of the portal's ring. So you can see it right there in the scaffolding. They put the little ring above that. We were just talking about in the last portal. There's like the little display thing going there. So that is up there now. So it's weird to see this covered up by the scaffolding, because for a really long time we've seen this uncovered, but now it is no longer uncovered because they have the scaffolding to put the final touches on this. So the little spear at the top is what that's going to be right there. So I think that looks really good. I can't really tell what it looks like, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like, from the concept art and from the video, it looks amazing. Number 1, theming in progress for the portal ring, including a spherical element at the top. Number 2, roof in progress at an octagon structure. That's what we were just talking about. We were just talking about the octagon structure for the Wizarding World. Similar structure at the exit of the Harry Potter world in Epic Universe. So, here we go. We're going in a little bit further here. Filled with trees and lined with gravestones in a crypt. So you can kind of see here. Here's where you're going to enter from the right. You walk through there. You will see the crypt to your left, and it kind of goes around. We've talked about this a lot. Goes around, and you'll walk in between this little structure here in the middle, right there, right to the left of the photo there, just a little bit. Not far left, but just a little further left. And then there is the octagon structure over to the right as well. So, pretty cool. Here's some look here at some things here. Photos of gravestones and monuments lining the entrance of the walkway. So, you walk through here. There's all kinds of different like gravestones and monuments there. It's definitely, you're walking through a graveyard pretty much. And then you'll arrive to the Darkmoor town right there. So there's another photo here too. Almost forgot that one. But yeah, that just goes around in there, and then you pretty much walk through the land right there. So here is pushing up over top of it. This is a pretty good idea what we're talking about. So at the top of the photo is where you will enter in through. You will walk down, come to the left of the photo here, and then turn right after that, and this is where you enter the main part of the land here. The arrows here, they are pointing at some of the shingles on the ground here, protective stuff that they're putting there too, so we will see. And then someone pointed out in the comment over here, the left projector painted and decorated in theming. Right, projectors are still a work in progress. Okay, I see what they're saying. Oh yeah, I see it now. Yeah, okay, cool. So let me click on that photo real quick for you to kind of see, because it's zoomed in there. So the projectors to the left, those are themed to make look like they're part of the actual facade there. And to the right, these projectors have not been themed yet. So cool look. Also, here's another look at that there as you walk through the Darkmoor town. Projectors to the right there. Someone says they already broke it. At least that's what it looks like to me. I think those could be definitely projectors. I don't know for sure. Let me know down in the comments if you know that's what they are. I'm just kind of observing that. At the center of this aerial photo is a portal of Dark Universe scaffolding to complete the theming. Darkmoor Village at the right, nearby areas of Celestial Park at the left. So there's just kind of everything that they're working on, doing this in between and getting everything ready to go. I mean, it already looks crazy how they're putting everything together. They have a lot more work to go, but as we keep talking about how close we're just getting so close. I mean, we are getting so close. And here's an aerial photo of Dark Universe and the nearby areas, Celestial Park there, just kind of from a different angle there for you. And then here is a look at the portal tower in the front of Darkmoor Village. So this is the proper way you would walk in. The way we were looking at it just a second ago, it was from the opposite route. This is from how you would walk in. And then you can see the little tower there to the left. It's just theming, and you walk through the middle there. Here's another aerial photo of Dark Universe. This is just kind of showing you the town that's being built up here in Darkmoor. And the DOS Steakhouse is on the other side, and I think we have a photo of that. I briefly went over that. Many of the roofs in the foreground have been aged and also have shingle color variations. So they're working on that too. The famous well here in the middle that has like the blood or the red substance coming out of it. They're still working on that. So not really anything progressively done with that one. But they are aging all this theming and making it look old and decrepit kind of look. Now here is an aerial photo. We were just talking about this Steakhouse side of Darkmoor Village and Dark Universe. This is, of course, the vampire themed restaurant, which is a steakhouse. That they're going to have steaks on steaks. That's what they said. So we will see. I'm excited to eat at that restaurant. I think that'll be really cool once they're done. But they're still working on the facade of that, progressively just getting better and getting it done as we go on each week, which looks good. Here is another detailed look at the skyline here in Dark Universe and the village of Darkmoor. There's one photo there, and the other one here showing that little well that we always love to see. We have to see the well, right? Okay. Now, here's an aerial photo of the DOS Steakhouse side as well. A little closer for you guys to see. I believe this building to the left is where the entrance is supposed to be, according to the concept art there. So really cool. Okay. This is just over top here, just an aerial overlook of everything that we have here all together. It looks great. They have continued to work on this, but not much more to talk about other than the theme. So all the theming just coming together. Now here is an aerial photo look at the Pretorius Scientific Oddities shop side. This is where the shop's going to be over here. Still scaffolding up, but some added details. They've kind of de-aged the, or not de-aged, but aged the roof there. There's still more than they need to do to that, and I'm 100% sure they'll do it. Some more masonry theming here added. They continue to do this as well. This is just right over there near the area. And then at the center are supplies of paint age into the theming. So that is, yeah, you can see it right there in the middle of the photo. And there's where all the little paints are that they're going to use to kind of age this area and make it look old, because that's what we want. We want it to look old. This is very similar to the last photo that we just saw. You can see a little bit of, looks like blue tape at the top of that little tower there. At least it looks like blue tape to me. And then, of course, in the foreground here is the Frankenstein attraction, Frankenstein Manor, and the village of Darkmoor behind that. And then an aerial overview of Frankenstein Manor and Dark Universe. Many theming details recently added to the roof lines, so they're still working on this. They haven't completed it yet. It's not quite there yet, but number 1 will soon be themed like at number 2. So it's going to be very similar to that. But still a lot of scaffolding up, but it still looks great. I mean, it just continues to be amazing. And I don't feel like there's tons here. There's theming added. There's stuff staged, but it's just not there yet, you know? Like, it's continuing to be built up. Everything here. Let's zoom in just a little bit. Show you a little bit closer. The theming around the doorway here. That's so awesome looking. The vines growing up, the structures on there, the actual like theming itself on the doors or the walkway there continues just to be impressive. And they did have some recent excavation here going on as well, so pretty cool. And then we have number 1's theming element similar to number 2, that just like we showed earlier, but this is just closer. A little bit closer there to show you guys kind of what this looks like and where they're going with it. So, and let's move on here. This is DeLacy's cottage in Dark Universe. This is going to be like a little snack stand pretty much. Have some things, maybe even some twisted taters. How awesome would that be? Or did they confirm that? I don't remember. I've read so many press releases lately that I'm not sure. Between this and Halloween Horror Nights, sometimes I get confused what I've read. But this definitely is a snack stand here. But yeah, I mean, that would be awesome if that's what they're doing. I can't remember. I literally, you know, we just reached over 1,000 videos the other day. So stuff starts to run together after a while. So aerial photos of the extended queue for Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein Experiment, the featured attraction in Dark Universe. So we've talked about this. We're not going to spend a lot of time on the extended queue, but this is where you're going to be standing out in the Florida heat. Pretty much. They do have some trees there to help with a little bit, but not a ton. Not a ton. We do have the Curse of the Wolfman coaster here in the foreground. Then we have the Burning Blade Tavern over to our left here with the nice mill up the top there, which looks great. And here is an aerial photo at the sign of the Burning Blade Tavern. It's finally up. That is cool. I did not notice that. And like I said, I briefly looked over these photos, so I didn't even notice it. But there's the sign. It's there. You see it in the concept art flyover or whatever. It's there too. So pretty cool. And another look here at the Burning Blade Tavern to our left here with the windmill. Of course, everything looks impressive. They continue to add theming and to get this as close as possible to the concept art. Like I said earlier, that's the thing about Universal, is their concept art is so close to what they've projected. It's just, or the actual thing is so close to the concept art that's been projected. Curse of the Wolfman coaster here. We do have a photo of the mid-course barn. It was recently aged here, showing you that. And then the arrow is at the attraction's entrance sign on the wagon. So there is a little wolf out there. We've seen this before. Like I said, in the 3D visual flyover, they showed that. Well, you know what? There it is right there in person. And we do have a better photo of it right here. Take a look at that. That is so cool. Wagon at the left has a werewolf figure at the attraction's entrance sign, a spinning roller coaster in Dark Universe. If you didn't know already what it is. But, I mean, that's so cool, man. I love the look of that. That's so cool. Another look over here, it shows you some of the queue as you'll pass by there. There's the Wolfman or werewolf sticking out of the wagon there, and of course the other wagon that's up there. This is going through the actual queue itself. And was it testing this day? Nope, but I did see it testing the other day. I went by just to look in person, and I saw it testing for the first time. I've never been out there when it's testing, so I did get to see it testing the other day. Here is a fence dividing part of the queue in the Cursed Werewolf ride, Curse of the Werewolf. So it's not really much to talk about there. So overview here, you see that little carousel there? We got to talk about that in a minute. But here is exit from Dark Universe, facing the Celeste Tiki Bar. Celeste Tiki Bar. At the arrow there. So it's late. It's almost 2 a.m. So I apologize if I say some crazy stuff. Okay, so we talked about parking. So ignore the image that we just saw there. So we know that everyone had an opinion on the parking last week, and it's great. I love the comments. I love what everyone was saying, everyone's idea of what parking was going to look like. But BioReconstruct is kind of talking about this little image that we just passed. It's actually from Scott Walker. I don't think I follow Scott, but so let's talk about this of what it could actually be. And shout out to Scott if you're watching for this. So this is his theory. This is just a theory. This has not been confirmed nor denied. I don't really like talking about rumors and theories and stuff like that, but I just wanted to show you this because I think it makes a lot of sense of what this might be. So the blue is the actual parking lot, the car park itself. The green section would be the accessible car park. So like the handicap area, which makes a lot of sense. Yellow would be valet, which I use so often at Universal. I mean, it's just, if you have the Premier Pass, it's well worth it using it. But like we always try to make sure we tip. So, that might not be what you want to do. So you might not use the valet all the time, but we use it pretty frequently, especially when we're filming videos and stuff. And then the kind of pinkish color over here to the left is a Universal bus station. And then the orange section behind the valet is non-Universal bus station. And then red would be rideshare. The orange towards the back would be rideshare waiting area, which makes sense. And then purple would be emergency access. And of course, white is the pathway. So, like I said, this has not been confirmed at all. This is Scott Walker's theory. And Scott, we appreciate you for doing that because that makes a lot of sense. So, looks like he had some 2.8 meters. Okay, that's the valet entrance there. So, pretty interesting, but this is what it looks like. And you can kind of see like what he's done and figured it out. I mean, it's pretty smart. It's pretty close, I think. Universal hasn't confirmed it yet, but we will see. And of course, the cars that are being used here right now, those are the construction workers. So that'll be part of the day guest stuff. And there's more talk about expanding another parking garage, another city walk. There's all kinds of stuff that's being talked about. None of it's been confirmed, but we will see. This is an aerial photo of the site of Universal's electric bus depot. So they're working on that. I think we've talked about that before. We may not have. But anyway, it's time for Super Nintendo World. And I told you this is going to be a long one. So, yep. You might want to go make your breakfast because I know this is premiering pretty early in the morning for you guys to see. But, or if it's in the evening, grab your popcorn, just sit around with the family and let's talk about this. Okay, so we know that things are moving along here in Super Nintendo World. We know that. It's getting there. This is just an aerial overview. We got Donkey Kong way in the back. We have Super Nintendo World in the front here. Everything's looking great. As it should. Now, let's talk about Minecart Madness because we do have a minecart out. If you look in the photo here at the top right-ish kind of look on the track, there is a minecart. There are two cars, one to the left as well, behind the yellow wall there. There's that one, and then there's one right there. So they were testing, each in a brake run. Also, to point out the little tiki hut down here at the bottom of the photo as well. Here's a better look here at the minecart in a brake run. That thing looks so cool. Looks just like the video game, doesn't it? And of course, the large banana at the top left. That is so cool, man. I love that. And here is a pretty good detailed look at the actual ride vehicle itself. You can kind of see how the restraints are a little bit, but look, one thing I noticed was it looks like there's a ton of leg room. Now there may not be, I mean there may not be, I don't know. But from these photos, it looks like there's a ton of leg room, especially from the front. I don't know. There are obviously going to be restraints. I would say the restraints would probably be similar. I don't know. I don't know. But would probably be similar to Mummy, maybe. Something like that. Very close to it. Here's another look here, showing you the split there on the brake run. You can kind of see a little bit closer there. But I can't quite make out the restraints. Not quite from there. But it still looks like the one on the left. Looks like we're still getting tons of leg room. So, pretty cool. But I don't know. I can't really make out the restraints. I'm pretty sure they're close to Mummy. Pretty sure that's what they're going to be kind of like. And there's probably stuff that, that we don't even, that's been discussed in plans and schematics that I don't look at that. There's people that are way smarter that looked at that stuff for us and figure it out. And you guys can definitely check out Theme Park Stop and Alicia Stella because she does some great stuff and she has a lot of knowledge on this stuff. Okay, aerial overview of Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. So you can see it's getting done. It's not completely done yet. They still have things they have to do. They haven't added any real flooring to everything here. There's still structures that need to be finished. But I mean, this is just crazy to think about. We were talking about like how a few months ago, maybe even, it's not been quite a year ago, but at least six to 8 months ago, the big thing we were talking about were the green leaf things being put on the structure there. And now it's like we've come so far. There's so many of them. There's spikes. There's ride vehicles. There's a Donkey Kong over to the right that we haven't talked about yet. That he's still covered in scaffolding on the right side of that photo. But here's another thing. We're talking about Cranky Kong stuff. We talked about this plane quite a bit. Now they are starting to put the theming on the plane. It's no longer just a silver structure over there. We have the back of the plane going on here, and there's like a little door there in the middle. Of course, it's going to be a shop, so you know it's going to have a door in it. It's going to have a way for you to buy things there. But fly and buy shop. Okay, here's our buddy Donkey Kong. Well, at least the the Donkey Kong sitting here on top here at the behind the scaffolding. He's still covered up. The character face is still covered up. Barrel to the right of the photo, bottom right of the photo. And then it looks like the little palm trees are going to be painted as well. That hasn't been done yet, so they're not really ready to remove that scaffolding. But if you notice at the bottom half of the scaffolding, that hasn't been painted either. It's still kind of a grayish color there. So we still have a lot here. Here is the back of it though. You can kind of see, just kind of give you a visualization of what that looks like and where they're going with that. So pretty crazy. And then, of course, we were talking about the little tiki hut, the two kiosks in the Donkey Kong Country area. One's getting closer to being done, and one they still have a while to go on there. So, a lot of stuff. Minecart Madness. Here's another look at the actual track itself. Things are being done now. Those the stairs, I don't remember those being there. Maybe they've been there the whole time, but I just don't remember seeing them. But that's pretty cool that they've been there. And then another photo here showing you the gap in the track. This is so awesome. These photos are so freaking good that they literally look like the model. Like, it almost looks like, with the color and everything, it almost looks like a Lego model kind of thing. But that's the real deal right there. And the breaking off of the track there looks awesome. Of course, Mount Beanpole in the front of the photo here. And then, of course, there is the look there. It looks like you're jumping over the spikes there. It's so cool, man. It is so cool. I cannot wait. And here is a photo here. Aerial photo of construction near the Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. The wall will hide a service corridor between the roller coaster and the Mario Kart building. So they're going to theme that and paint that there where the arrow is pointing. So don't worry. It's going to be like an expansive experience here. We have a Yoshi's Adventure sign up now in Super Nintendo World. They are working on that. And I'm pretty excited about this attraction. I know it's just an Omni mover. It's really slow. But from what I have seen, it looks amazing. I watched the one in Japan, the POV, the one in Japan. I believe it was, yeah. The other day, I think it's when I watched it. And it looks amazing. I was going to just kind of leave it up to my imagination, but I wanted to know what I was getting into. You know, I mean, I want to see so I can compare once this opens. But Yoshi Adventure sign looks great. Still covered up. Of course, we will have more. And then, of course, aerial photo theming being added to the final scene of Yoshi's Adventure, which, you know, you come out here to the end here. They're adding all these pieces. Everything's getting added day by day. And, of course, look at these guys as this piece is coming in. That's awesome. It's an iconic photo right there. And then large pipes are being built over Yoshi's Adventure track. Seen on both sides of this aerial photo. So they're working on that as well. they continue to add all these things here with that. So on the left and on the right, the pipe looking thing, of course, those will be colored and themed. They're not just going to stay gray, of course. Let me just say, I explained some things because not everyone has seen these update videos before and they're not sure what they're looking at. So if I simplify it, it's because I'm doing it for everyone that's new. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for watching. Aerial overview of Yoshi's Adventure area in Super Nintendo World. So you can see this continues to be done. So many things that we could talk about here. To the left here, the red theming. To the left, the little nets, the cool little nets that you would crawl on. On the left of Mount Beanpole there, there's just so much to continue to talk about. And I feel like the tree is so cool. The tree down there, that's so cool. It looks like it's still covered up a little bit on the back end there, but it's so awesome. Okay, Bowser's Castle, really quick. Let's talk about this one. Because we know that Bowser, his face hasn't shown up yet. But his feet are down there. You can see that there. They continue to work on that there. And to the right, they're still working on theming there. I have not seen this yet. I have not seen this one yet. The little musical blocks? Are you kidding me? I've seen some videos on Hollywood and Japan Super Nintendo World. Like, I've watched Ordinary Adventures video. They did a really good video. Peter and Kitcher are amazing people. But they did a video on that and it was so cool. But I don't know, like I kind of watched it and didn't like want to know all the details, but I feel like I haven't watched a bunch of videos on the other Super Nintendo World. So I did not know that they had this. This is cool. The little musical blocks, that's awesome. You're probably like, John, how did you miss that? But hey, you know, I'm human. I miss things. You guys know if you watch these videos that I miss things. Okay, aerial photo of theming in progress near Bowser's Fortress. So they're continuing to add on here, more theming. Gosh, it's starting to look like Super Nintendo in there, isn't it? It's so cool. I want a t-shirt of just that right there. That would be so cool to see. More theming being added. Goombas over there to the top left. Is this our first Goomba we've seen in these updates? It might be. I don't quite remember. But look in this. This, for example, is where you're walking in. This is where you will be entering into the land, and you'll walk down and go into the actual land itself. Piranha plants to the left of the photo there. This is still being done. This still has to be painted and colored and everything. And I feel like they're almost waiting for that to be the last thing that they do. I don't know if that's what it will be, but I feel like that's like one of the last things they're waiting to do. Very similar photos here. Aerial photo of the construction courtyard of Super Nintendo World. So we continue to see that done. Whew, there's another one here. Yoshi's ride vehicles to the left covered in black there. And then this portal down here at the bottom. This is where you will walk over to Donkey Kong Country into that way. So that the doorway at the bottom of the photo there with the little drapes over top of it, that is where you actually walk through there. So, and another look here at the courtyard. Of course, looks amazing. And we could spend all night here. Eventually, I know you guys like these longer videos. Eventually, we're going to make it to 2 hours. It's probably not going to be today. But I guarantee you, before this park opens, these videos will reach 2 hours. Especially when I normally record these is usually on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, something like that. when I have more time. And this week, I have so much going on. So it's just crazy. But here's another look here, the portal. And then let's get out of here and let's talk about some really cool stuff. Celestial Park. We need to talk about that a little bit today. Look at the Grand Helios Hotel, Helios Grand, or we want to call it the in-park resort. In the foreground is development of Celestial Park. At the left, though, of the photo is the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant, which you can see they're starting to add theming to that as well. And you can definitely tell it is of Asian structure or construction, or Asian structures or whatever, for like a Chinese restaurant. You can definitely see that there to the left. And in the middle, we have this cool star there and the engraving of the walkway there. Of course, the waterfall that will run down all the way down into the fountain area, which you see at the bottom of the photo there. And we're going to skip these because we don't care about that park in this video. We do cover the other parks, but not in this video. And those are their own things that we cover. So we're going to skip through all of that. Grand Helios still looks good. They still have stuff they have to do. And everything there. One more quick photo of Super Nintendo World that just popped up here. This one, you can see the theming at the front is still being done. They haven't finished the portal yet. They're still adding to it. We know from the concept video that there's supposed to be multiple like flag looking things at the top there. Those have not been done yet, so we'll continue to monitor that as we move on. But I don't want to spend a lot of time with Grand Helios because we've covered that so much, and there's really not much to talk about there. We are going to talk about Starfall Racers, though, just for a few minutes here. You can see that this is continuing to be added. The theming is continuing to be added and be done here. Up here, we do have the ride testing, Stardust Racers. I will get that right. I'll remember that. Train on the green track. So this is different. We've seen it on the yellow, but not the green track. And of course, this continues to look amazing. Here's another view of it here. It looks like that flux capacitor is on the back there, doesn't it? That is so cool. As we, continue to show this, I mean, Stardust Racers, we spent a lot of time on that in this channel. But stuff's just continuing to be added, every week, every day. You can see Isle of Berk to the right of the photo there. Stardust Racers in the kind of middle of the photo to the left. All the way to the left, there's the Wizarding World over there. So pretty impressive. If you live in the area and you have a chance to drive by and check it out. Like, just see what you can see from the road. Do not walk on property because that's a no-no. But just see what you can see from the road. It's pretty cool. Some more Stardust Racers here stuff. Still some stuff to finish up here. Pavement. There's actually a lot more that they need to finish up here. I'm sure that they'll continue to do and to get done here. This one is pretty cool because up at the top is expansion pads for the park at the top center, where they'll have expansions later. That's a whole nother video. We did that video, and you guys should check that out. I'll also link that down below. Okay. Now let's talk about Celestial Carousel. It's starting to get into the conversation here of what we have right here. But this one, you can kind of see they're starting to add more paneling to it, right? And then here's another aerial photo of the work on the splash pad in Epic Universe. Little details here and there, but they're still have some stuff to do around there before they finish that. Okay, so we're talking about Celestial Carousel here. Aerial photo of the rockwork at the base of the Celestial Carousel. Nearby is a retaining wall of dense foam. It's right there for you guys to see, and they continue to work on that, of course. But let's talk about the actual carousel itself, because we got some really cool stuff. They keep adding to this. But he's saying here, a copy of the black grid at the center was previously being buried in Harry Potter World at the Epic Universe. Trees to be planted at these grids or tree wells. Okay, the black structure there. Okay. Took me a minute to figure out what he's talking about, but okay, now I see it. Also, look at the top of the photo here on the Celestial Carousel. See, like, some cloud theming is being added to that there. Not a ton done, but it has been added. It looks very DreamWorks-like, you know, in some ways, but they are adding all that theming to it, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. I wanted to make sure I talked about that. Pizza Moon. Pizza Moon is on its way to Epic Universe and is a Super Nintendo or Mario themed pizza place. And I'm expecting this to be the best pizza in any theme park ever. Will I get that? I don't know, but I'm expecting it because it's Pizza Moon. They continue to work on that. Here's another look here. There's also going to be a Super Nintendo store in this area as well. Right over here to the left there. But, man, Pizza Moon. I'm excited about Pizza Moon. Here's a look here at the Celestial Carousel here at the bottom of the photo. There's a little bit better look at the actual paint job that's going on with the clouds there. But at the top of the photo is work on the very forested Oak and Star Tavern in Epic Universe, so they continue to work on that. Now, I believe that this was the one that was supposed to be barbecue themed. If I remember, everything's starting to run together. Like, as we have more details, everything's starting to run together. So, here's another look. They're still doing that. This looks nice. I mean, it looks really nice. Nice shaded area going into the restaurant there. I think that they're just working on stuff just that we can't even guess what it's going to be and how awesome it's going to be. It says aerial photo of many trees surrounding the Oak and Star Tavern in Epic Universe. Some are also a backdrop of Dark Universe. The trees that go around right there. You just see Celestial Carousel. More pictures here showing that the colorful pattern at the entrance plaza. And if you notice, I believe it might not be in this photo, but there are some more panels that are on the ground that are going to be raised up there into that area there. So here's an over the shoulder, over top look here of everything. And that looks pretty impressive. Pretty amazing, actually. A crane is lowering a colorful roof panel. Okay, so they were lowering it and they were going to add it to it. Of course, there's more on the left there that's got to be added to as well. So it just continues to look great. And last photo of a thread showing the placement of the colorful roof panel at the Celestial Carousel. So that's where they were adding it right there. So a little bit more to add to this. It's not quite done yet, of course. But you can kind of see how this kind of goes down there. Like, look how beautiful that is. It's so bright and vibrant. Like, I love that. So the right side is being done, and here's the panel that they're moving over to this side, and they're going to put that there. So if you look at the left of the photo, you can see where those panels are supposed to go. It just kind of gives you an idea of what is going on there. But also another further away view here. And here's the photo I was talking about, the panels here at the arrow. This is staging panels, so that's where they're keeping all the panels, and they're going to move them up there. So it's getting close, guys. I mean, we're getting there. We're less than a year away. I keep saying that, but it looks so good. So take a quick break here, and let's talk about the Isle of Burke. Wait. Before we do it, let me show one more here. One more photo. Here is the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant here. A better look at that one because we talked about that earlier, just like probably 5 minutes ago or so. But here's a better look at it, and they continue to work on this. But this is all that's being done to it so far. Of course, we can't see on the inside. That's the big thing, right? Is being able to see on the inside. But so I want to spend a few minutes on the Isle of Burke because I feel like we need to. We haven't covered it in the last couple of videos, I believe. So I'm going to skip ahead through some of these things. But let me know down in the comments which video you are looking forward, or not video, but which land you are looking forward to the most. Dark Universe still moves the needle with me. I still am excited about that. But anyway, let's go into the Isle of Burke real quick and let's talk about this. We have Dragon Racer Rally here. Looks the same, I think. I don't think anything's really been done to this other than maybe a few things. They still got to finish the pavement up here to finish that up. Looks good. It's still going to be like one of the first things that we ever saw testing. I believe this was the first thing that we saw testing in that video like months and months ago. Here's the look here. We have the scaffolding over here. We have the actual bleacher area here. People looking on. I just call them bleachers since it is what it is. Looking on there. And then, of course, we have this one as well. Look at that. Look at this. This is themed grandstands. That's what it's called. Grandstands. Viewing for dragons is underneath the Isle of Burke. So that's pretty cool. The throne at the top is so cool. I love that. Just the added theming to it would be cool. Or is cool. I'm so glad that they have done that and they've worked it out, you know, whatever. So awesome. So amazing. Okay. Aerial photo of the recent development in the queue of Hiccup's winged gliders. Roller coaster, rock work for spire and frames along a wall separating the queue from Dragon Racer Rally. So pretty much just more rock work being done here. Not a lot to talk about and to hit on, but they continue to move on from that. Here's another look here at the wing gliders. And of course, Hiccup's wing glider. I did it backward. Dragon Racer Rally in the middle, and then Hiccup's wing glider coaster to the left. Frames and shrubs along the wall were recently added. So kind of like block everything in a certain way, you know, for that to be there. Okay, so recently added rock work is number 1 at this photo. Number 2, recently added frame for tinting over the queue, which is nice. Number 3, recently completed roof with 2 peaks in progress. 4 and 5, added trees and added frame to these. So we're moving along. But I just, you know, there's things that are in here that are different, that are, you know, changed. And we just want to talk about little things here and there that, you know, have really shown up here. The frame in the foreground here was recently added. At the left is the exit gift shot with scaffolding at the theme exterior to the left there. So, like I said, just little things here and there being done and added, which is amazing. So there's something I really wanted to get to here. Let me see if I can skip ahead here just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Here is the ride vehicle for Hiccup Winged Glider roller coaster. Now this looks standard roller coaster. I don't really know. I know it's supposed to be like a family coaster. So there's our first kind of good look at the ride vehicle. And I like it. I like the way it looks. It looks like dragon scales on the side of the actual ride vehicle itself, like the door area there. That could be speakers. Yeah, I believe so. Speakers on the front and back there. See the front of the car, and then the seats behind it looks like speakers. That may not be what that is, but I think that's what it is. I think those are speakers there. So pretty cool. So this is just kind of showing the photo of the different ride vehicles here that we have. So now we have Hiccup Wing Glider as well. That's cool. A little further photo. This one isn't as good. It's kind of a little bit blurry there. But here's another look here. The aerial photo of the first launch of Hiccup's Wing Gliders, themed as gliders are propelled by falling rocks. One of the rock bundles at the arrow is staged up. The other is seen lowered. So that is pretty amazing. That's really cool. We've talked about this, that the falling rocks propelled by the glider or whatever. And then it's going to be like it lifts up and comes down. Now, right here in this area, I believe is where Hiccup and Toothless is. The covered up thing there to the right, I believe is Toothless. Not entirely sure, but I think that's the same area. It's late. I can't think. Anything I say that's incorrect, please don't attack me. And then here's a look here at the mead hall here in the front of the photo, but going out here to the actual Isle of Berk under the mountain peak to the left, and we're on the top right. So you can just see the fellers out there, as I say. The statues, these will greet you into Isle of Berk, and bada bing, you are in the boom lift lens scale for height. There, okay, gotcha. These are at the beginning of the film, so obviously when you walk in, that's the first thing you are going to see. And then we are going to actually end it here on this, because I know, you guys want more. Well, we're going to do more. We have plenty more to talk about, and if I have time this week, I might do another one. But ended here, the actual orange sphere, which is at the top of the Chronos. It's going here too. There may be a water feature in development there as well, but you can see that is part of the completed portal there with the orange sphere there, which looks great. It really does look good, and I'm excited about it. I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else I need to cover before we get out of here. There's some stuff, Hiccup's Wing Gliders, there's some stuff going on with that, but stuff that's not like overly like, oh yes, I need to see that kind of thing. Fire drill, there's so much, but I think you know what, we'll end with the Chronos, because that just seems so appropriate, right? Let's end with the Chronos. Let's talk about the Chronos really quick. So we're talking about the orange sphere. There it is, the second one up right there. You can see right there. And then on the other side there is the Chronos, looking beautiful as always. So awesome, so amazing. Just like you are awesome and amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I know these videos are long, I know, but you guys keep giving me positive feedback that you want to see the longer videos, and I appreciate that. Makes a lot of sense to me. We're going to keep doing these with all these updates. Next time, when I have a bunch of them and I have more time, it'll probably be really long. My analysis may not be as great. I have so much going on. Media events this week and all kinds of stuff going on this week. But I wanted to take the time and sit down and do these, because I promise you guys one every week. for Epic Universe. So just making sure that we do it and we stick to what we're doing. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We do updates for Epic Universe and Universal, and sometimes we do Disney World too. We just throw them all in there, but we're really focused on Epic Universe and Universal at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, the road goes ever on. I will see you next time.